That's one piece. The second piece is if you're looking at press, there's broadly speaking two types of press stories. One is a product story and one is a brand story. Product stories are anything about your product. That means new product SKUs, that means iteration of product, new colorways, it means new features if you're building a platform or a piece of software. It's anything that evolves the product in a way that you think is interesting enough to go out and speak to the press again. Product iteration is important. I would say for product-oriented companies that are selling consumer goods to people, product iteration is really, really important. You should be looking at the market that you're in and who in the press covers product in that market as a measure of how often you're going to be able to go to the press. For certain brands, these types of product stories lead to placement. So like a Warby Parker or a Reformation or anything like that, every time you open up GQ or Uncrate or whatever you were reading, and it says here's 5 pairs of sunglasses that guys should buy this spring, that's been pitched. Every single time that you see something on the Today Show, if you're watching the Today Show or whatever else you watch, that has a contributor on that talks about 5 looks for spring and Reformation or Everlane on it, it's been pitched. So every single time any of these companies puts out a new color of anything or a new salad at Sweetgreen, because the food media covers that, anytime you do anything like that, that stuff is important to go out and tell the press and get press on. Brand stories are everything else. Brand stories are, the cotton story for Lola. It's partnerships that you do with other like-minded brands. Those brands either need to be bigger or cooler. It has to be one or the other every single time. If it's not either, then it's not a partnership you should do. They can be stories about culture. And the culture of the business that you're building, or about employee perks, although that's getting harder and harder, or anything else having to do with the company. I mean, the most mundane thing we've done in the last year and a half around this subject is we got, I think it was a Fast Company to write a story about Warby Parker's internal book club.
Yes.
I mean, literally it can be anything, but that's super helpful as an employment brand. They have an internal book club there. Cool, I want to go work there. And what worked in the past, snacks and everything else, is evolving into meditation and whatever else is going to happen tomorrow. But I think the point is to kind of find these stories on both sides and be able to tell them effectively over and over and over again. I think for a lot of you guys, and Lola included, you're not spending tons of money on paid acquisition early. Hopefully your businesses, if they need paid acquisition, are going to be efficient businesses when it comes to paid. But if not, you're going to be counting on press a lot very early on, and you need to be able to iterate and go tell new stories.